Hey guys, welcome back. Now let's start with all of the steps that we identified, and the first step is requirement gathering. So if we already have requirement coming from the product for the product that we are developing, then that's fine. We can skip the step since we'll already be having all the requirements jotted down in a PRD or BRD, business requirement document or product requirement document. But if we want to develop the product and the idea of the product is our own, and we want to define first, like need to define the complete requirement, then of course we need to follow this step and we have to complete this step so that we have clarity on each of the feature that we are going to develop. So for this step, I'm going to use VS Code, and I'm mostly going to use ChatGPT. So I'm gonna have VS Code window at one side of my screen and ChatGPT at the other side of the screen. And I will tell you the reason why I'm doing this, but for now, let's get started. Okay, this is my ChatGPT window. Let's combine this. Now we have ChatGPT here. Now let's start with setting up the context with ChatGPT. We want to tell it the problem statement for which we want to create a full product requirement document. So let's do this. I want to develop an application with front end, back end, database, and I am going to use AI to develop this application so that it is clear on what we are going to do and how we are going to proceed so that it can help us throughout this journey. So this is done. The idea, the product idea is AI powered personal finance tracker. Okay, before starting the development, I want to list down, or maybe let's say I want to prepare the PRD. There are some initial features I have in mind. These are it should have an option to take, or let's say it should have an or let me refactor it to say I should be able to provide image or file of the expense, and it should be able to extract the info from that doc or image. And I should also be able to insert the expense entries manually. At the end of the month, I should be able to We can also say we should be able to see some monthly reports, or rather than saying at the end of the month, I should be able to see some monthly insights about my expense patterns. Or let me know if you have better ideas. First, let's brainstorm, then we can prepare the PRD. Let's see what it says. So it says the core objectives: an AI-powered personal finance tracker. It should capture expenses effortlessly. It should provide intelligent insights. It should help with planning and saving. Correct. Then feature brainstorm, data capture. So there will be an image and file extraction. Okay, it will scan the receipts, invoices, or bank statements. It'll have OCR plus entity extraction from for the merchant, amount, date, category. Cool. Manual entry, quick add form with category auto suggestions. Okay, yes. Voice input. Okay, that is cool. We can have the voice input in our product, and then bank account integration, which we don't want right now, because we'll focus on the core product, not the other integrations. Now, insights and analytics. Monthly, weekly summaries, goal, trend detection, predictive for a lot of things. Okay. Personalization and AI, smart categorization. Okay. User experience, web, mobile. We don't want to go into that much of details. We want to keep the product simplistic, usable, and very handy for us. We are just going to develop the web application, and we are going to develop it using AI. So we don't want to like add a lot of features into it. In tech consideration, okay, monetization, risk and challenges, next step. So let's carefully see all the options and tell it what we want and what we don't want. Okay, so core objectives: capture expenses effortlessly. Okay, cool. So let me tell it, keep the list of features limited, and we also want to take care of all of the security aspects. For, let's say, version 1, take care of all the security aspects. And now from it, from the above list, let's just have second, third, oh, let me edit it right away. Wanted this voice input. monthly, weekly summaries, trend detection, predictive forecasting, goal tracking. Let's take this only for version 1. Let's say we are developing the version 1 of this application, and then for version 2, version 3, you can, experiment on this code which I'll be sharing in the resources, and then you can enhance it more. This help with planning and saving is kind of unclear right now. Let's see if it has given us any ideas around help with planning and saving. Um, Trend detection, it highlights unusual spikes. Predictive forecasting, estimate next month's cash flow or likely bills. No, we don't want it. Goal tracking, no, we don't want to set a goal. This is fine. And trend detection, I feel we can have. Let's see where it takes us. Where was I editing? Okay. For the next steps for us are problem statement and goals, user stories and personas and all of this. Let's tell it that we only want these features. Then these, if you want to add any security specific tasks. Okay, MVP features scope, data capture, okay, manual entry, cool, insights and analytics, monthly, weekly summaries, trend detection, okay, security and privacy, end-to-end encryption, in transit at rest, okay, authentication and access control, okay, compliance, right, okay. Now it also suggesting us for the tech stack. It suggests React Next.js or React Native if we want to do for mobile. Backend, we can use Fast API or Node.js with a dedicated inference service for OCR and NLP. Database, we can use PostgreSQL or S3, and cloud storage for images. AI services, we can use these. Okay, I think this looks okay. Now we have to decide on what we actually want. So let's first get as we discussed, let's first get the requirement completed, and then we can move on to finalizing the tech stack. So let's ask it to, if it can give us the complete requirement document. Document including details about UI validations, and all of the technicality. Technical as well as functional details, step by step. So what I feel is AI can help us do things, but it cannot do everything like 100% accurate, because the thing is, like all of us have, different minds and different thoughts around the same thing. So if I want something a particular way, AI cannot help me build that in that particular way until and unless I tell it the thoughts. So that is very important here. Okay, so it has given us one PRD version 1. Let's see the executive summary. Okay, lightweight, secure, AI-powered finance tracker. Okay, and features are these, which we told it to add. Primary goals are these: reduce friction to capture expenses, provide useful, actionable insights. Okay, success matrices, daily active users, transaction capture per user per month. Okay. Um, these are fine. Target users and personas, business professional, budget. Okay, that is also fine. Functional requirement. Now, this is important for us. Image and file extraction. Upload image or PDF invoices, system extract merchant amount, date, taxes, line items when available, and suggest a category. User stories. As a user, I can upload an image or PDF to create a translation, so I don't have to type details. As a user, I can review and correct the parse code. So you notice here, if we have given us, like, we have given the Roo a simple prompt that create me this application, which is an AI powered personal finance tracker, then all of these details, like, there were like very high chances that all of these details were missed from that application, and there was chances to have a lot of errors in the application. Because if you see, it says that if I upload an image or PDF, then if I want to correct some things, then I should be able to do that. So if we are in hurry and we just don't look into these kind of details, then we won't be able to get a correctly working product. So that's very important here. Then there are functional requirements that these should be the supported file formats. Max file size per upload should be 10 MB, which is fine. Like, for us, it'll be, I think, sufficient. And then pre-processing, auto rotate, crop, deskew, denoise, a lot of things. If we want to descope these, that is also fine for us for the version 1. Then OCR engine. Okay, entity extraction, a lot of details are mentioned over here. So what we're gonna next do is, first we need to decide the tech stack in which this application should be developed. So again, if we are fine with these requirements, we can move on to the next step. But if we find these requirements, if we want to do any kind of correction in this requirement document, we can do it right away, or we can do it later when we are developing the particular feature. The reason is, since we are developing for personal use, we can change the requirement anytime. So that's a good thing. Okay, so now let's talk about, now let's just, let me download it. Let me download in PDF. So now let's ask it. So the reason why I use ChatGPT rather than Root to do the requirement gathering, because I could see everything side by side, right? I can use one AI to help me generate useful detailed description of features and what I can do, and on the other side I can utilize Roo for the actual code generation. It's not that Roo would not be able to do this, but the thing is, if I do it with Roo, I'll have to create a chat and then switch over to other chat and do all kind of, so that makes it like a little more, like, it's a bit more difficult than having it side by side. So that was the reason why I had one AI at the one side and the one which will generate code for us on the other side. So Let's move on to our next step, which is to decide on the tech stack. Now, let's decide on the tech stack. Front end, it says React plus TypeScript.